Ladies and gentlemen, it has been brought to my attention that a kayaker was swallowed by a whale. Yes, you heard that right, and I'll say it again. A kayaker was swallowed by a whale. So last night, as I'm scrolling the internet, I come across this video, and what looks to be CGI, it looks to be fake, computer graphics, like this can't be real, right? This can't be real. There's no way a woman on a kayak actually gets swallowed by a whale, unless a woman on a kayak actually gets swallowed by a whale. So after seeing this video and watching it back probably 150 times, I did a little research myself to find out how common is it, how actually common is it for a kayaker to be that close to such big, majestic, massive ocean wildlife creatures. How common, how often does that happen? So after countless hours of research and extraordinarily long calculations, I've come up with this graph. So while we're on the topic of research, let's go ahead and dive right into some actual footage of some kayakers that have had very close encounters with these majestic, massive ocean creatures.
He knocked it over.
Could you imagine being on a kayak, a double kayak, it does any kind of kayak? Could you just imagine? You're just sitting there in the water and you see a whale in the distance, right? And the next thing you know, you look up and you see this 50-foot long, 50-ton whale, like just fixing to land on your kayak. What do you do? What do you do? There's nothing you can do, nothing. There's one thing you could do. You could not put yourself in that situation. That's what you could not do. I'm just saying. But some people like to live life on the edge, and I myself, I like to take a few risks every now and then, right? I like to do some more crazy stuff every now and then. Okay. Sometimes I change lanes and I don't use my turn signal. Sometimes I drop weights a little too loud at Planet Fitness just to make the alarm go off. But these people, they like to chase whales, and they enjoy this kind of thing. If you are one of those people watching, kudos to you.
There they go. I almost dropped my phone.
It falls in this gray area of being an uncommon phenomenon, but not technically super rare. And I say that depending on where you live, okay? So that's really not going to happen here as much where I live in Florida. If you're on the West Coast, the California, like Oregon, that side of the United States, that's where all the research that I did, that's where it seems like that's most common. Nonetheless, no matter how common, uncommon, or rare that crazy occurrence is, I would absolutely lose my mind if it happened to me, being a kayak fisherman myself. I would die. I would have a heart attack. I would have an aneurysm. I would have a stroke, all in one sitting right there on the water. The whale wouldn't even have to eat me, and I would just absolutely be dead right there on the water. So now that we've analyzed our research together, we've seen a couple clips of some close encounters. Now let's take a look at this person actually getting engulfed by a whale. Let's go ahead and run it back one more time. Run it back one more time. Matter of fact, run it back one more time in slow motion.
Oh, shit. Oh.
What do you do? What do you do in life? Everything you've done in your life leads up to this single point right here where you are in the ocean in a kayak. Well, number one, okay. The lady was fine, actually. I read an article. I don't know if I hope it was the article, but it had the same pictures and everything. The lady was fine. Apparently, when a whale is eating, like, the little bait fish, the little teeny tiny little microorganisms that it likes to eat, or whatever they're called, if it notices something in its mouth is bigger than it normally would eat, it'll just regurgitate it. It'll just kind of like open its whale mouth and spit it back out. So apparently she was underwater in its mouth for like 6 or 7 seconds or something along those lines, which is still crazy. A woman on a kayak lives to tell the tale of being eaten by a whale on a kayak in the ocean. Crazy. That's her life's complete. That's it. She has just came in first place at life. After further analysis, being a fisherman myself, when there are birds in the water like that, okay, that means there are fish in the water, baby fish, right? Little bitty fish, okay? When those are little bitty baby fish are in the water, that means bigger fish are in the water chasing those little fish, because the birds are chasing the little fish, the big fish are chasing the little fish, and the whales are also chasing those, or sharks. In some cases, where I live here in Florida, it would be sharks. You see birds in the water like that, don't get in the water. Just don't get in the water, because that means the sharks. Unless you like to swim with sharks, which some people like to do that as well. I'm just saying there's a huge difference in living life on the edge by not using your turn signal and swimming with whales and sharks. Anyways, now that we have shared this moment together of a kayaker getting eaten by a whale and then held underwater in its mouth for 6 or 7 seconds or whatever it was, and then spit back out, and living to tell the tale of being eaten by a whale off a kayak in the ocean, like, what are the odds? The odds of that are just crazy. Anyways, now that we have shared that moment together, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit this video with a like. Both are free to do. If you enjoy, positivity, some good vibes, if you just want to vibe with somebody, consider hitting the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. If you're new and you haven't seen any of my other videos, I do a lot of fishing stuff, a lot of kayak fishing, bass fishing. I do a lot of challenges, all kinds of cool stuff like that. So like I said, consider subscribing. With that said, I love you guys. I'm glad we could share this moment together and build this bond. And we'll catch y'all on the next adventure. Peace.